So people used to ask me a lot when I started the channel why I don't play higher stakes, and those questions kind of went away even though I thought I answered them. I had a video April last year, pretty early in the life of the channel, link at the top. If you missed it, I only speak in Spanish, but I include subtitles, why I don't play 2.5. And lately, a lot of people have been asking, I guess newer subs after that video that was pretty popular about a month ago, people who haven't seen the videos from long ago, why I don't play 2.5 or higher. Usually the question is why I don't play 2.5. I don't think the people who are asking grasp how low my expenses are, because I don't understand. I know some of the questions are nonsense from the people who love misery. Some of the questions are genuine though, and I don't think that people grasp what my expenses are like, even though I put up the expenses videos. To ask me why I don't play higher stakes, I don't understand why you wouldn't ask anyone else or everyone else why they don't play higher stakes. People who play 2.5 every single day, why don't they play 5.10? People who play 5.10 every single day, why don't they play 10.20? Jamin, if I see him, it's at Bellagio playing 5.10. Why isn't he on the stage at Bellagio playing 10.20? Nimi, don't watch his videos a ton anymore, but it was 5.10 last time I was watching the videos. That was his normal game. Why doesn't he play 10.20? People playing on the stage in Bellagio 10.20, sometimes 10.20-40 with a mandatory straddle. Why aren't they going to California playing 50-100 every single day? There's almost always a stake higher. So I don't get why the question comes to me so much. I make more than I need playing the stakes I play. I wouldn't do this if that weren't the case. If I only made an amount of money playing 1-2 such that my bills were a larger amount, then I would have a decision to make. I would either need to do something totally different that's not poker related, that meant I have a larger income, or I would need to think about playing higher stakes, playing more hours, maybe playing a different game. I'm sure if you were good at Omaha 8, you could play the 8-16 Omaha 8 game at Orleans with a half kill. 8-16 with a half kill is a pretty big game, and I would imagine those people are like really old and miserable and never trying to improve at poker. So that's probably a pretty juicy game if you knew that game. I don't. So I would have that decision to make. As it is, I don't need to make more. I make more than I need. I don't need more than that. If I got to the point one day where what I make playing 1-2 was too small, I would have a decision to make about doing something else within poker or doing something else that has nothing to do with poker. It's also, another reason is I never cared that much. I used to care a little bit. I never cared that much. So after playing Foxwoods 4 times, the first 4 times in my life, live casino poker, my next 600 hours about were in Milwaukee. Milwaukee never had I guess it was regular. It wasn't every single day. It wasn't constant, but it was, I guess, a consistent 2-5 game. Most days there were like 7, 8, 1-2 tables, and there was one feature table, which was an interesting idea. Table, I don't remember the table number, table 6 maybe? It was right in the front of the room. Every day of the week was a different game. One day it was like 10-20 limit. One day it was Omaha 8, another day it was PLO, another day it was higher stakes PLO. Every single day of the week had its own game. And like, so every Tuesday, the same guys would play 10-20 limit. Every Friday, they would play 5-5 PLO. Every Saturday, they would play 1-2-5 Omaha 8. Interesting idea. But like, that table always ran, the 1-2 games always ran, and most weekend days, a 2-5 table ran. Way more often, there was a day where no 2-5 game ran, as opposed to days where multiple 2-5 tables ran. So it was like one table some of the time with the only players in the room who were trying to improve. Like, why would I go play that when there were like 8 amazing 1-2 tables? And even though I was like table changing magnificently, it didn't even really matter that much, because even the worst table was a killer table. So playing in Milwaukee at like the start of my career, it wasn't really that much of a thought. And then when I moved to Vegas, I did think about it a lot in 2015 and 16, and there was a stretch in 16 where I wasn't playing only 2-5, but it was a much more regular part of my week playing 2-5, usually at Bellagio. and I don't know, it didn't seem that different. I understand the blinds are different. I understand the buy-in was different. For one, the best 1-2 games of the week were better. You could go to Bellagio and there were a lot of 2-5 tables where like the standard raise was $15, and then you could go to Planet Hollywood where the standard raise was $20, and the players were much worse and much more fun to talk to. So why would you play Bellagio 2-5? Also, what started happening over time was buy-in started changing. So right now, South Point, this is the list of casinos in Vegas where the big blind is smaller than $5 and the max buy-in is bigger than $300. South Point has such a game. MGM has such a game. Mandalay, it's very rare, although I played it once. It has such a game. Aria now, buy-in is 500 on the 1-3. Bally's 2-3 hasn't been running as much as it did when the new room opened about a year ago, but it runs occasionally. Sahara is match the stack. Venetian has 2-4, I think it's 600 max. Wynn has 1-3, 500 max. Resorts World, the 1-3, I think is 400 max. Golden Nugget is uncapped. Like, if you want to play a game where people sit with $400, $500, $600, you don't need to play a game where the big blind is 5. Like, for a long time, that was the classic game structure. 2-5, 500 max. Not anymore. A lot of people sit at MGM with more than that. South Point 2-3, that happens. Sahara, all those places I named, that happens. So I have no interest in playing a game where like the typical player sits down, where it's very common to see someone sit down with $1,000. Whether that's the min buy-in, the max buy-in, or somewhere in the middle. That's just a game that's too big for me to care about. I don't care about playing that high or higher. Sit with 400, 500, 600, yeah, I'm up for that. It's just that I don't need to play in a game where the big blind is $5 to do that anymore. In like 2015, that was, you would need to do that a lot more. Orleans was 1-3, 500 max, so was Wynn. I don't know if any other place in the city in 2015 when I moved here was like that, but now it's like half the poker rooms in the city have some variation of that. So it's unnecessary. If I were really dying to play games that were 1,000 max, then I might play 2-5 games that were 1,000 max, or 5-10 and sit with 1,000, something like that. As it is, I could play games where you could find plenty of people at the table who come to the table with 500 and the big blind is $2 or $3. I don't need to go find a game where the big blind is 5. And there's not many rooms like that. There are 11 rooms between Mandalay and Sahara on the Strip, if we call that the Strip. On Memorial Day, I played all 11 rooms in one day. If you missed that video, link at the top. But all 11 of those rooms have a 1-2 game. Only like 6 have a $5 big blind game. Wynn, Aria, Bell, every day. Caesars, at some point during the day, they'll get at least one $5 big blind game going. Resorts World, yeah, and Venetian. It happens. I would say at least one table goes every day. I've been in there where there's just an interest list, but usually at least one table goes. So like, as it is, I casino hop. I want to find really social, really fun games in places I like, and sometimes 11 rooms between Mandalay and Sahara isn't enough. I have a tough time finding a game when I have 11 rooms to choose from and like 60, 75 tables to choose from. If all of a sudden I'm only looking for games where the big blind is $5, then it's like 4 to 6 rooms with like 15 to 18 games. That's like way worse. So I have no interest in doing that. So I hope I answered everyone's question, and in the future, if more people ask in the comments, I'll redirect them to this video. And I hope you enjoyed the background while I was saying everything.